Greetings, friends. Welcome back to Stars on Stage with Jadian, where we talk everything and anything astrological, numerology, tarot, Vietnamese zodiac, and of course, more Hindu occult knowledge. We're finally going down the wheel, the Sun Sign series, and we're here, Sun Sign and Scorpio. Yes, this is your video. So if you know a Scorpio, trying to learn more about Scorpio placements, personality traits, this is definitely the right video. So if it resonates, please don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to the community if you're wanting to engage more. I'd greatly appreciate it. Stars on Stage 28. And also, I have Instagram. So if you want to friend request me on Instagram at JDNStage, JADEONSTAGE. Hit me up. And let's keep up to par outside of YouTube. I have some other creative stuff I'm doing. But without further ado, you guys, we're finally here. This is your sun sign in Scorpio. Okay, so we go from Libra energy. It's early to mid autumn. So that means we have warm days, cool mornings, and evenings. Leaves change colors, a mix of sunny and breezy days, very occasional, like relatively occasional rain days. So this is what we have, like light jacket weather. So that's what we have early to mid autumn when we're in the harmonious balanced partnership zone, right? So during this transition into Scorpio, you feel noticeable drop. So what's light on the surface and noticeable and harmony and peace and fluffy, well, all of a sudden there comes the sun sets earlier and the temperatures start dipping faster once we transition from Libra into Scorpio. The winds pick up, the air is crispier and colder, and we move from autumn, the mid-autumn, the lightness of autumn, into a deep depth and depth, and drama. It's a heaviness and more quieter, more. If you notice when we get towards that, ending of October, towards ending of November, when we, going to that whole transition, it's a very eerie, sleepy, hollow type feeling. It's quieter, but that's the whole point of transitioning from light and fluffy into intense depth emotion. So nature, easy breezy, to sleepy, hollow, cold weather. This is the transition from Libra to Scorpio. So we go from the crisp air of Libra into the depth, into the deep emotions of Scorpio. Because again, remember, Libra is not good and would rather not with emotions because it finds it messy. That's also the test from the 7th sign going into the 8th sign. We have to invite chaos. We have to transform and process it being confrontational in front of us. It's not nasty. It means that we're getting into the depth of one another, really. So there's a difference between, again, that light social gathering, and then all of a sudden we're in this like admin room having real conversations. So we have to learn deep interconnection, transformation, sex, depth, and that deals with emotion, that deals with Scorpio energy. So we have to continue down the zodiac wheel and fall into transformation. So you have to think about it. When we come into this world, we ignite with light, mystic, fire, right? But it's really, we're held in the womb, we're held in water, right? So it's we have to be able to dive deeper within self. And that pain that mother felt once she gave birth from the womb, broke that water, created that life. It's very Scorpio energy, from the wet womb until we literally grow, we rebirth out, and then we go through cycles in life. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you're changing through, perhaps, hopefully not perpetual, consistent, drama, but hopefully you are evolving and transforming as you grow in life. So this is Scorpio energy. If you were born between the dates October 23rd and November 21st, you, in fact, my friend, are a serial killer and the devil and a sexy Scorpio. That was supposed to be a dry joke, and if you didn't get it, you should get it, especially being a Scorpio. No, you, in fact, my friend, you are a Scorpio. You are a very magnetic, complex, emotional, mysterious, fascinating, charismatic, yet disturbing all in one, only because you also are a human walking lie detector. Okay? Scorpio is a sign of death, rebirth, and sex. These people don't mess around with their emotions whatsoever. Scorpio sun sign and Scorpio energy is ruled by Pluto and co ruled by Mars. What is that? Pluto is ruled by the energy of Hades, the god of the underworld. That is that is the planet and the energy that rules Scorpio. And then they're also co ruled by the god of war. Hades and the god of war. That's a good seasoning right there. That's an intense seasoning spice right there. Hot and spicy. Yes, these people they don't play with their emotions. They're very revengeful. They can be very jealous. They can be very secretive by nature. And it's only because they don't give their power away to anybody and they don't trust anybody, not even their own mom. Yes, and I'll say it again. Motivated, very captivating, and serious, similar to Capricorn. However, Scorpios look at other people as opportunities. So they're like opportunist almost to other people because they're ruled by the eighth house, which is also other people's money. Because mainly Scorpio men, the women are more witchy. They have a very passionate, very serious way about them. I feel the men are a little bit more self-absorbed, and they do lead off of their emotions. The men do; they just compose them quite well. So do the women, and they look at other people as opportunity for more growth, more transformation, or more money for the next level wherever they're at in life. So their opposite is Taurus, which is going to be all about sustaining and having something and building it. Scorpio is the opposite. It destroys it, tears it down to rebuild better with more power than before. The women have this, it is said by certain astrologers that the women actually would have rather come into the world as masculine, as a man, not for the sake of a sex change, okay? That's besides this, it's more spiritual and in depth. See, men rule the world, women make it go around, right? But men rule the world, so they have more say and more power. They just do. That's just how it is. So since Scorpio is all about power and the soul and getting to all of that, really, life and death, all or nothing, really. The women would have rather have come into the world as a masculine for the sake of having more power, and that's how deep this sign gets and goes. Okay, so the men and women can hold grudges. They don't forgive easily. They're deeply intense, protected, very guarded. Again, no fake, no phony. And I quote by Deborah Silverman, all right, for Scorpio. Intimacy. Into me I see, and I want to see all of you and me, all off, all raw, all real or nothing. That's why I smoke cigarettes. That's why I live life on the edge. Because remember, all a Scorpio has is time. And don't mess with them or try to deceive them and their loyalty to you because they will get you. They are the sign of revenge. And honey, it is going to be the biggest sting of your life. All right? Better watch out for that tail. So how you spot a Scorpio, once again, they're the person in the back of the room, scoping out the whole entire room, trying to figure out who has the power. The men have long fingers and arms, can be kind of super sexy or kind of weird. Women and men tend to have more pointier nose and chin. You'll the most intense eyes, which you'll see. There's this magnetic intensity within their eyes. It's not mystical like the Pisces. It's more in depth and intense, and it's intimidating all in once, but we love the feeling, really. Scorpio is a feminine fixed water sign. It is ruled by water, and so water trigon. Scorpio is ruled by the number 8 in numerology. Scorpio is ruled by the 8th house, the house of death, birth, transformation, sex, other people's money. Scorpio is ruled by the 8th planet, the god of the underworld, Hades, and co-ruled by the god of war, Mars. So ruled by Pluto, god Hades, and co-ruled by Mars, god of war. These people are the goat in Vietnamese zodiac, and they rule the death card in tarot. And then the opposite sign of Scorpio is Taurus. Taurus rules the second house, and across from Taurus is going to be the opposing, which is the 8th house, which is Scorpio. Remember, Taurus is all about sustaining and building. Okay, so Taurus teaches the Scorpio, you can't be too intense in your emotion and breaking everything all the time. You do have to sustain and build and lose the drama and the control. So they have to learn this stubborn streak within themselves, because yes, transformation is important. Because the Scorpio is going to also teach us in retrospect to the Taurus, everything isn't comfortable all the time. Okay, we have to evolve too. We can't just stay in our comfort zone forever. Yes, we can sustain and build, but at some point that comes to an end. And that in retrospect is what Scorpio teaches us. It teaches us out of all the zodiac sign, the lessons we have to learn, not being comfortable and evolving. Oh, and lastly, of course, the crystals for Scorpio energy: carnelian, red jasper, and bloodstone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Stars on Stage 28. It's been such a pleasure. We have the next sun sign coming up, December 8th at 8:08 p.m. We're going into sun sign in Sagittarius. Thanks always for joining me. And remember, friends, to never stop shining bright like a diamond. See you next time.